they began with a family story. Most of them. Some they just began as in a genealogical research and discovered their soldier. So the most important documents that they'll actually share often are the muster records that are found in National Archives and the pension records. And they'll walk you through, the descendants walk you through what their research process was. And of course that opens many doors for others who can go and duplicate that. Whenever you get a pension record, that's when the Descendants Day presentation gets most exciting, because a pension record where the soldier applied for his pension is a functional autobiography. A pension record where the spouse applied for the pension is where you have a biography. But also other personalities in the war show up. For example, we had in October, we had a presenter that came in, and Lori Knight Major. And her ancestor was in the Louisiana Native Guard. He was originally one of the first African-American soldiers to be mustered in the federal service. After the war, when he was applying for his pension, there is an officer, a captain by the name of Edgar Davis, that is writing testimonies. Edgar Davis is actually in this image in our museum, because he's one of the African-American officers that was interviewed in a Harper's Weekly article, February 28, 1863 is when the article appeared, and Edgar Davis is one of those officers interviewed, and he's actually in the print that appeared in Harper's Weekly. So here we have a descendant giving a story that brings to life other personalities, and you find this often in the pension records. There are other stories there, because all the testimonies are coming from other players. So during a day like today, that's what we would have had a descendant coming in. Now, sometimes we get as exciting as last Descendants Day, which is November Descendants Day. We actually had a double header, and actually in some ways we could call it a triple header. The morning we had a speaker. Our descendant speak, share her story. But then in the afternoon, we had two descendants of the same soldier. These two descendants of the same soldier had not known each other. The families that came in from the Caribbean, from California, to hear these presentations had not met each other. And they met each other right here at the museum during the presentation of their ancestor. So that's probably, I would say, one of the most rewarding first Saturdays that we've had. And of course, they're quite emotional because this is family. They just met. So the research process, different for each one. One of them was all through the records. Everything was through the records, and he was the one from Virginia. And he was all through the records. The ancestor from Barbados, wasn't it?
Trinidad, Tobago?
Trinidad, okay, Trinidad, correct. From Trinidad. The ancestor from Trinidad, his was from the oral tradition. It had been handed down to them. So we have these two ways the families discover, and they meet here.